generating leads through advertising doesn't necessarily mean that they'll book an appointment. And if they do, it doesn't necessarily mean they'll show. Booking prospects into appointments for your service-based business is one thing, but having them show is another. Here's what has worked for me and how you could implement it. Sending email sequences to prospects isn't enough, especially in 2025 when everybody is on their phone. There is a better form of communication. Any guesses? If you said that SMS messages typically are better, you would be right. In fact, they have an open rate of around 98%, opposed to email, which open rate generally hovers around 20 to 30%. Now, does this mean that we should completely ignore email? No, we're going to combine the two. And what I like to do is I actually like to use my SMS sequences to send people over to email. So let's start with the initial opt-in. A prospect will provide their information to you via your landing page, your opt-in form on Facebook, etc. What you want to do is you want to send an initial SMS within 3 minutes of the opt-in, and you want to send this out to the prospect. Now, this SMS can sound something like this. Hey, John, welcome to Bernardus Agency. We prepared something special for you in your email inbox. Please take a look at it now to uncover why you haven't been seeing X results. This is going to spike curiosity and surely send the prospect over to the email to see what they've been missing out on. So here's an example of what I would say. Hey John, Willem here. Just sent you an email with ideas to grow your business. Mind moving it over to your primary tab? And then you'll say, over the next 7 days, I'll be sharing quick stories of how I've helped real businesses get more leads, bookings, and visibility. What's crucial about this is saying over the next 7 days, because people don't like to be enrolled into commitments forever in terms of newsletters and marketing, etc. So if you just say, listen, it's just the next 7 days, be providing a couple emails here, it's a good thing to do because now they know that they're not going to be enrolled in this forever, right? And it's going to increase your engagement as well, your open rate. So then what they're going to do is they're going to go over to their email. And because they've already opted in, they already know that they have some sort of problem. They may not know what it is yet, but they know they have some problem. And now you're going to provide your first piece of the solution. This is what I like to call a breadcrumb. So in your email, you're going to leave a breadcrumb, which could be something like a YouTube video, a PDF, or a useful article, guide, or anything that provides them some sort of solution to their current problem. An example of this would be a YouTube video where it's like, hey, copy my Facebook ad structure for service-based businesses. These people may already be running ads but not seeing great results, so this could provide value to them and how to run ads a bit better. So now you've dropped your first breadcrumb, and you actually want to drop at least 3 more. So what I like to do is I like to wait 1 day in between each breadcrumb so they have some time to process it. Then when they wake up the next morning, they have another one sitting in their inbox. So spread them apart by 1 or 2 days. So this is one of my YouTube videos talking about how to do market research for lead generation. That's one that I like to drop first because I'm going to follow up with it with part 2. Part 2 is scripting for maximum conversions. And this is part 1 and 2 of the 5-step series on how I show how to generate leads, which is a whole other series on YouTube. Essentially what you want to do with these breadcrumbs is you want to get them to book a call, right? So if we go over to the third breadcrumb here after 3 or 4 days, now I'm talking about how to set up a profitable ad campaign, which is what they're having trouble with, right? And what I'm trying to do when I follow up in these emails, not only am I providing the breadcrumb, but I'm also providing some results. So here's what an email looks like where I actually drop these breadcrumbs. I like to have proof, scarcity, and a limited time offer in my email. So the first thing I'll do is I'll provide proof. So I talk a bit about what I've done for previous clients. I'll talk, for example, here's 3 different clients which I got results for. And then I provide the scarcity. So I say, hey, I've only got 3 spots left this week to shoot a free video. So if you've been thinking about this, now's the time to book. And then I provide the call to action. And I remind them of what they're going to get if they take the opportunity. So in this case, they would get a 30-minute strategy session tailored to their business and a pro video shoot to launch or level up their content engine. So those are two things they're getting for free. And then I provide my calendar link. So that's what I do to get them to book a call. So now they've made a decision. The decision is wait to book a call or book a call. Let's say they didn't make a decision, then we're just going to keep following up with them, giving them more proof and more value. This is a video where I talk about the software I use to streamline marketing, lead generation, etc. But let's say they do book a call. We're going to remove them from the initial workflow, which was providing them with the breadcrumbs. And now we're going to add them onto the other workflow, which will provide them with more proof. So in the first workflow, we're just showing them a bit about what we do, how we generate leads, how we do market research, how we make content, how we script content, how we run ads. But now we're going to show them the actual result that we got for our clients. So here is a video where I showcase a 12x return on ad spend for a client where we generated over $12,000 for this company, which was a retreat center. So we generated 157 newsletter signups, over $12,000 in revenue, and a 12x return on ad spend for a client. This is a good type of video that you would want to show if you want to show that you're actually legit, you have results. And this is going to pre-frame the prospect on your results and the type of client you deal with. Now, I know that this may be a lot of stuff, and you're right, it is. Most business owners don't have time to send every individual message. So this is why I'm telling you that I actually automate all this stuff using a software called Go High Level, okay? And one of the hardest parts about Go High Level is setting up your business phone number. So as we talked about it earlier, SMS is a very powerful tool you can use, 98% open rate. And most people don't think about it because they only see how SMS is used in business when they order a ticket or something online or when they book a table at a restaurant or something. But they don't actually think about using it for their own business because every business can use it. But it's very hard to set up these phone numbers. And the reason that's so difficult is because you have to have your opt-in form, so where people fill in their information, the page where the opt-in form is on, the privacy policy, and terms of services set up in a super specific way so it gets accepted. And it personally took me about 2 months to set this up because I kept making mistakes. But now I have the process dialed in. And there's a few different options you can use. So you've got your toll-free number. And your toll-free number is going to be a quick setup. If you need it now, get it set up quickly. Of course, you're still going to have to go through the ticket and the compliance and everything, but it just works good, does everything right. But it's a toll-free number. It's a 1-800 number. So the pickup rate and the open rate is going to be lower because people recognize a 1-800 number as a business number, right? So what's really optimal is a local number, because a local number is going to have better pickup and open rates despite the longer setup process. So the process to set these types of phone numbers up can take anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. And it all depends on how cooperative the client is on setting up their website and everything correctly. But the good news is that I've actually got a blueprint to set all this up. And it's exclusive to my clients only. So if it's worth a chat, you can book a call on my calendar. And remember, this is what comes after the 5 steps. I've got my 5-step system to generate high quality leads, prospects, any type of lead that you want. And this is what happens on the back end to make sure that they turn to clients. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to have a chat about how we could potentially implement this for your business, you can apply by booking onto my calendar. If you're on Instagram or TikTok, send me a DM. If you're on YouTube, just look in the description.